Welcome back. We're continuing conversation with General Manager Kevin Whitehair of the Long Beach Water Department. And remember, life is water. Without water, nothing works. And let's talk about the Metropolitan Water District, this mammoth agency that supplies you and 20 other cities with water. What's happening there with the rates and allocation?
Well, they've been in last year, their year runs from July through June, so they're just finishing up the first year of the shortage allocation, first one they've done since the 87 to 91 drought. So they've just finished up the first year. They reduced all their customers, including us, by 10% below what we normally bought from them. And since we're down 17%, that's really been a non-issue for us. And they are going to now extend it for a second year, so we'll be in this 10% reduction mode for a second year. So at the same price that time that they're implementing these reductions, they also have had some pretty significant rate increases. I looked at, for example, what's happened to their rates that for the water we buy. If you look at the 5-year period from 2007, now projecting out to 2012, which they've already set their rates for that 5-year period, the price of the water we buy from them has gone up 66%. So it's gone up by 2/3 in a 5-year period.
So your 17% reduction is critically important to helping our customers keep the cost.
Yeah, if we go over that allocation, we end up paying twice the rate for this water. So there's a big penalty for going over.
Now we also pay money to the Water Replenishment District, and some of you may not be familiar. The Water Replenishment District is an area-wide district, and when we take water out of the ground, we have to pay a fee to replenish the water we've taken.
Exactly. Again, we get about now 60% of our water comes from the aquifer, 40% from the MWD. So 60% of our water, we pump it out of the aquifer, and when we pump it out, we have to pay them a fee. They use that.
But that's still a lot less expensive than MWD water.
Exactly. So what we do is we take as much groundwater as we can. We have a legal entitlement. We take it all because it's about 1/3 of the price of imported water. So we always maximize our groundwater production. So all the savings that we've accrued over the last few years, that we've reduced our imported water accordingly. So we pay them a fee, a pump tax it's called, for every acre foot of water we pump out of the aquifer. And their biggest cost of doing business is buying water from MWD. So they buy water, they take the local runoff that comes from our mountains, they capture all that at the best they can. They also take some recycled water, recycled wastewater, blend that, and then what else the biggest price impact they have is then they have to buy some imported water from MWD to balance out the
And that has to be reflected in their price.
So that's what's happening to them. So they're actually getting hit with a double whammy right now. They used to get a 30% discount from MWD because MWD used to have surplus water, so they sold them this replenishment water at a discount. Now
Folks,
they can't buy it.
Water is becoming scarcer and scarcer. What we used to, most people think you turn on the knob, you get water. Well, there's a whole infrastructure that is behind all of that. And what we used to take for granted, we can no longer take for granted.
Well, it's becoming scarcer and scarcer, but again, the kind of things we're doing here in Long Beach are really making us much more reliable.
Now, I learned today for the first time the difference between El Nino and La Nina, and both of them affect water supply. Tell us about it.
Well, it's interesting. I know you like to go to Hawaii, and so do I, Art. So actually what El Nino and La Nina are, they're weather patterns that are dictated by the Pacific Ocean temperatures along the equator south of Hawaii. And when the water temperature is warmer, like it has been for the last year,
hotter than
normal.
That's El Nino.
That's El Nino.
The male.
Yes.
And La Nina is when it's colder than normal.
Yeah, so we're just finishing now in El Nino. That's probably why we just had a pretty good year. Our precipitation throughout all of California this year has been above normal.
El Nino is good for water.
El Nino is good.
La Nina
is usually drier than normal.
The female is bad for water.
Well, you said that, not me. But anyway, we're just finishing El Nino. El Nino is now waning, and now it looks like next winter will be either in a neutral or maybe a La Nina condition. So, it just highlights that we have to be diligent. We have to continue to conserve because El Nino's going away, and we may be in a La Nina next winter, which could be drier.
Now, you're an engineer by training,
right.
Analytical, 13 years with the Met, 9 years with Long Beach. It must be satisfying to see these major projects, such as Diamond Lake Reservoir, which I know you were involved in designing, built and addressing problems caused by the vagaries of Mother Nature.
Well, you know, sometimes they call us water engineers the beavers. You know, we're always about our squirrels. We're always squirreling away water. We're building dams. We're squirreling away water. But really, when you think about California water management, it's always about capturing the wet weather flows, storing it, whether it's in our underground aquifer, which we do some of that here in Long Beach, whether it's in a surface reservoir like Diamond Valley Lake, and certainly conservation.
So Mother Nature is going up and down year to year, and you want to be able to capture the excess in the good years.
I always say it's just like your bank account. Sometimes you make a lot of money, sometimes you have a drought, but you know, you want to balance it out and capture the water in the wet years and use it in the dry years.
And I know the Diamond Lake Reservoir in Hemet has a 6-month supply of water stored there. So in the event of a drought or, God forbid, a terrorist attack interrupting supplies to the Colorado River, LA and the LA Basin has 6 months of water there.
Of course, what we really worry about is a major earthquake on the Newport
Or an
Inglewood Fault.
earthquake.
That would sever the 2 aqueducts coming into Southern California. So that's
right.
a big benefit of that reservoir.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I know there was some major environmental impacts to the community in building that, but it makes sense when you step back and look at the macro picture.
Yeah, it really allows MWD to take whatever water they have, whether it's Colorado River, which they've got a pretty good supply this year, but maybe next year they won't, or if it's state water, they can take whichever one they have and they put it in there and they store it for the dry years. Yep.
Okay, we'll be back with the remaining portions of this show after these messages. Stay with us.
Welcome to McKenna's on the Bay, where fine dining is complemented with a breathtaking view. McKenna's is a restaurant of incredible ambiance, providing service and cuisine with style, class, and romance. The menu offers a variety of appetizers, serious seafood, prime steaks, an oyster bar, and specialty entrees for either lunch or dinner. McKenna's on the Bay features patio dining, nightly entertainment, and 2 banquet facilities. No matter what your occasion, McKenna's on the Bay is like being on vacation. Join us today at McKenna's on the Bay.
Founded in 1976, Polly's Gourmet Coffee is Southern California's most complete gourmet coffee store. Polly's has the best tasting coffee, freshly roasted every day right in the store, plus a wide selection of teas, an in-house bakery, espresso bar, patio dining, and more. We also offer Wi-Fi, free internet access for all of our customers. Our nationwide clientele agree, when it comes to coffee, there's only one name to remember, Polly's, 4606 East 2nd Street, welcoming you into Belmont Shore.
Take care of those who are closest to you, from our family to yours. McCarty's Jewelry, since 1932.
We are fortunate to have a first-rate water department here in Long Beach. All parts of the government should work as well as Long Beach Water. We would be very fortunate. So I want to thank you and your staff for the high-quality service you provide. And final words to our viewers.
Well, thanks for having us here today, Art. It's always a pleasure. And I just want to say thank you to our residents. Long Beach has continued to do just a wonderful job. We are the leader in California in conservation. I hear that from people all over the state. We've tried to make it a very positive thing. I think it has been a very positive thing. We've got this wonderful new lawn to garden program, and we hope people will take advantage of it and we can continue to lead California in the right direction.
Thanks so much. Thank you for joining us at home, and join us next week for the next edition of Straight Talk. Good night, everyone.
Straight Talk has been brought to you by Southern California Edison, the Press Telegram,
and Long Beach Magazine.
and remember, Straight Talk is viewable worldwide 24/7 at straighttalktv.com.